Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Night number 2 of the North America semifinals. Mustache Dave joined with Monica to bring you all of the action. We will have 4 games tonight, A versus B. It's looking to be good. Right now, we got the scores pulled up. Monica, what are we looking at? And first of all, how you doing tonight?
Doing awesome. Definitely had a great night last night watching these teams, but this time around we are gonna look at the score. Just kind of give you guys a recap of last night. So first place is Pittsburgh Knights with 61 points. You can see their kill points actually outnumber their placement points. They got 31 kills and then 30 points for placement. But you can see the winner and chicken dinners from last night, all Erangel, were Pittsburgh Knights, SSG, and the Unnamed.
Yeah, so we actually have the Knights in tonight's lobby alongside Spacestation Gaming, and they have only played 2 games so far. So technically speaking, they have a 50% win ratio,
Yeah, that's true.
considering both of those squads were able to pick up a chicken dinner last night. So when it comes to Group A, they got 8 games to go in total. Every single group will have 10 games in all to make it on into the next round. We are going to be looking at the circle, watching the teams drop out. You were telling me before we got into this, we should have some hot contested loot locations.
Yeah, we have on the kind of maps that I've created, kind of studying where these teams are going. We have Simplicity going up to North George. You have X Gamers going down to kind of South George, and then Universe 7 going to Crace. The one team that I see that didn't go where they usually go is Bats. So we did talk yesterday. They were previously Team 8 Gentlemen Esports. They were just picked up by Bats actually yesterday. So where are they actually right now? Let's see.
Maybe some teams going back, watching the VODs and
Yep.
making
Ooh.
up their mind on exactly where they should drop and possibly avoid all the early game chaos, as we are going to see circle number 1 go on up, and looks like Wildcard dropping in their Severny location. They're going to be fairly happy with that first circle. Checking out X Gamers right now. You're going to be getting some loot.
Yeah, one thing I also when we were talking before the game started, that we weren't going to have any of these teams really going to military base. Usually Jovi going into the C block right into military base, and then the Unnamed going over to Novo Crates, and neither of those 2 teams are in the lobby. Both of them are in Group C. So, that northern plane path, it didn't really disrupt too many of these teams. All of them, pretty much on that main island side. So no one, long jumping all the way over to military base.
So, ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready if you are watching on YouTube, if you're watching in Twitch, and wherever you're watching out there in the world. Sit back, relax. We do have 4 games of nonstop North America action here, as these teams are going to duke it out to get that top 16th position on the overall leaderboards. Right here, Tribe, we know that they like to drop in the Ross Hawk area. Looks like martial arts are going to be in here as well, trying to contest them. This should be fairly interesting.
Yeah, martial arts, they are one of those teams that don't really have designated drop spots. Majority of these teams, they kind of, this is where Bats went, Pachinki. But martial arts don't really have that kind of set spots they like to go each and every time. They just kind of pick wherever's closest on the map. And they're already kind of at a disadvantage because they started with only 3 players on their team, and Slap got knocked to Seagut. So the last 2, Electra and Dinner Daddy, they're just kind of running away, running for the hills, literally, and trying to get out of Razak.
Yeah, we saw right there, Electra, no helmet, going to be using some smokes out there. They looked as if they were heading towards Slap to possibly get their revive, but just not going to be successful, as Tribe will be coming out on top of this one. And you got to hope moving forward, if they are going to be competing against each other in the same lobby, martial arts respects the grind, respects the drop locations, and doesn't have to drop on a Tribe once again. But like you mentioned, getting stinky in Pachinki.
So Pachinki, we've had a Polar Ace Esports. The one to watch on this team is Krish. He's the main fragger on his team, and then Bats. Haisu is the one. Actually, in group stages, he got close to 50% of his team's kills. So definitely
That's huge.
the
That's
hard
actually
carry
huge.
for his team.
The backpack right there, gigantic, putting everybody in there. Let's hope we can continue to see that performance from them here within the semifinals, and alongside their squad mates kind of pick it up as well, so they can ensure that they do get that top 16th position. Bats going to be out here kind of spread out for the time being. We saw a couple of them taking some shots out there in the distance from Polar Ace. It's going to be an interesting fight.
And last time I did mention that one of the players on Bats was previously played in Asia, played in a lot of lands. Another 2 players on that team, it's going to be King G and Thien. They were previously on Team 6AM, and they played in New York for ESL 1 New York back in the summer. So a lot of these players having some really important experiences in land and big tournaments.
So you'd hope they can kind of use that experience and it'll help them in here tonight to calm those nerves, and they can pull it together and come out on top, as we're going to see 3 members from Polar Ace on top of each other, looking to get a little bit aggressive here, looking to make the push as a team, as a unit. Where you like to see. You don't want to send out one squad mate by themselves, leaving them exposed to get thirsted early on here. That would just spell disaster.
Speaking of one player by themselves, Rio actually just kind of hightailed out of there and made it out of Pachinki. So right now we're currently at 3 players from Polar Ace and Pachinki, and then 4 players from Bats. But looks like they kind of separated kind of on either ends of the city, and I think looks like they don't want to take this early fight. They don't want to waste any more time. We are currently 6 minutes into the match, and I think they're just going to grab their vehicles, kind of just separate, and then find their own ways into the circle.
That's kind of dangerous. 3 members on that 3-seater bike. Hopefully whoever is driving has the license out there for that vehicle, because you hit a bump, you're gonna go tossing and turning all over the place. Here's the other member in the buggy out there from Polar Ace. Looks like they are going to be doing some scouting, popping up over here, getting another vehicle, and Bat also going to be moving on out of Pachinki. Looks like all these teams looking to find a more centralized location within circle number 1, and the great migration is underway. A bunch of teams all the way out there in the east going to be making their way on up near that shelter Yesnaya area, right in between the 2.
Yeah, we saw that in last night's match as well. AbusementPrk and LTU was actually that, I believe it was the first game of last night. They both landed Yasnaya, and the circle ended pretty much right where you see LTU Gabriel was at. So definitely, sticking to what they know. But we're having some other players kind of join the party. 4AB kind of rotating just on the north side of them, and you see AbusementPrk now, Oxide and Survival. Oh, somebody need to revoke that license. But they are making their getaway. Fortunately, LTU didn't have an angle on them, weren't able to kind of do some damage on that car and potentially blow it up. So they're going to make their way out of there.
The thing is with the AbusementPrk, they need to be somewhat careful to avoid flipping their vehicles, because they're in a hot little location that's kind of a bottleneck right now on this map. There's a bunch of other squads like 4 Angry Babies going to be rotating on right on top of them. G25 just to the south of them. So a lot of teams opting to use the same kind of routes out here. Dinner Daddy going to be prone up here, hoping and praying. The last remaining member for martial arts, hoping that the Knights aren't going to peek on up here and possibly take them out here. Dinner Daddy aiming down sights. Oh, Jagger super suspicious right there. Going to be spawning that buggy, blocking the stairs. This is a dead giveaway. The thing is, if you are Jagger, what do you do in this situation? You got to guess that there is a player up here. Will Dinner Daddy be able to get at least 1 point out of this? Maybe even a flush.
Yeah,
we'll see.
So dangerous to fight against solos like this, because of Jagger, if he pushes up by himself, a solo, they know they're not going to win the fight, so they're going to just try to confirm as many kills as possible. If they get a knock, they're absolutely going for the thirst, even if it means suicide. But J7 with that grenade, he could just imagine it in his head that he was prone up there and just threw the perfect nade right on top of his head. So martial arts is the first team out of the first match of the night.
Yep, first team to take the L here tonight. They will have 3 more games remaining, so hopefully they don't get too discouraged, and they still are going to have their heads in the game moving forward. We are going to see the rejects out there finally able to make their way on in just east of Yesnaya. Wildcard, of course, still in Subverting. That's where they loot. That's where they love it. Tribe moving on out of Rozhok a little earlier here. Going to be kind of close to the Knights. It is going to be somewhat of a dangerous area. Next circle does go on up. X Gamers looking mighty fine over there by shooting range.
Yeah, they kind of on their own side of the circle right now. They don't really have to worry about a whole lot of teams, just kind of simplicity right on the south side of them. But this is kind of what they're dreaming of right now. Just everyone else on that eastern side of the circle is going to be just fighting each other while they're just kind of all looted up and completely unengaged from these fights.
And I'm trying to think, if I was in this lobby, what team would I rather be right now? I'm kind of looking at Simplicity. They're kind of set up in a nice little spot where they should be able to get a couple kills on teams rotating. Yep, we're going to check out the map one more time. It looks like the Knights are actually going to be favoring that same general area where Simplicity is. We are going to be checking in with G25 making their push, looking for some type of compound, possibly some type of position here in this new circle. So far, so good. None of them are going to be getting shot at, so things are looking mighty fine for them.
Yeah, this circle, it's been quite a while since I've seen a circle this far over to the kind of northwest of Erangel. X Gamers, we said they were in a really good spot before because they were on kind of that kind of, what is it, uncontested part of the circle, and now the circle shifting over them. They're pretty much dead center now. We got Polar Ace, they landed Pachinki. They're just kind of holding up in the center as well, finding a nice little compound just downhill from X Gamers. Spacestation Gaming now, they're making their way across, landing Milta Power, just being on such an extremity of the map and having the circle being on literally the opposite side of the map from them. They kind of have to come in later, have to come in and just edge it for the rest of this game.
Yeah, I'm looking at Space Station. I'm trying to see what they're going to be able to accomplish here tonight in 4 games. Out of their 2 games last night, they racked up a ton of kills. They got 1 massive chicken dinner, so they're able to kind of set themselves up on leaderboard all the way up there at the top with the Knights kind of close to them as well. So in my opinion, this is a super lobby right now that's going to be a great deciding factor for those top squads to see where they can end off the night here. Of course, the objective, top 16, that's all you really need. But when it comes to teams like the Knights and Space Station, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, exactly. Spacestation Gaming, quite the veterans of the PUBG Mobile North America community. Last spring split, they were the #1 in North America. So I think they're, spring is probably their season that they are wanting to kind of get that title back one more time.
We are going to be checking out Tribe over here. Looking like Space Station will be recognizing the threat out there. Gut in the 3rd story with pretty decent sight lines in circle number 2. Now, will Space Station, will they want to push on over that terrain, Monica, and get aggressive here, or are they fine with their current location?
I think Spacestation Gaming, they are such a confident team. They take these early game fights because they're confident enough to know, like, probably one of the best teams to take team fights, and they know that they will win them. Tribe, that's a spot that I see them take a lot because they go to Razak, and when they rotate, they're pretty much the first team to come across the bridge. They don't even have to move that far. But the circle now is shifting one more time, again in the northwest part. So again, centered right on top of X Game.
Yeah, yep. X Game doing a really good job at least predicting where these circles will go. G25 also going to be in a somewhat solid position. We are going to need to keep our eyes on the eastern edge as we have a lot of teams over there. Spacestation Gaming, all in vehicles, going to be making the push right now. Tribe making the push. Pittsburgh Knights making the push. 4 Angry Babies, pretty much everybody. Got about 6 squads. There's not a lot of room to work with in the east, so it's going to be interesting to see what teams crash on top of one another.
Yeah, these teams, a lot of times you don't want to, with the circles closing in like that, you want to stop engaging in fights about 15 seconds or so before, because you don't want to be stuck in a fight, have the circle hard shift away from you, and then have to, somehow get out of this fight with 4 other people shooting right at you. So I think that's why Spacestation Gaming, they decided not to kind of engage with Tribe when they were in those compounds before. But still, Spacestation Gaming finding themselves with a lot of teams right on them.
See what Space Station Gaming can do. Can they defend their eastern edge here in the new circle? Looks like they're going to be pulling up, finding a decent spot. Universe 7 over here. Still 4 members alive. Versace going to be getting a quick little heal off. Looks like Simplicity going to be doing everything in their power to attempt to gatekeep Universe 7. But Universe 7 with that nice little hill over there might be able to get a couple nice shots onto Simplicity.
Yeah, they're really, really good spot in terms of simplicity, but they did have Pittsburgh Knights right on their backside, so might turn into a bad spot pretty soon. Looks like X Gamers, they did lose one. They lost Ralphino early, just now actually, before to Tribe. So Tribe, they are holed up down in those bunkers. There's such a hard spot to try to penetrate X Gamers. They they really have no way of pushing up onto Tribe. Not that they need to. It looks like AbusementPrk, though, rotating. You can see it in the background. Starting to get a little bit more messy as these teams are just getting denser and denser in the center of this circle, and these teams are just going to have to take these fights when they run into other teams.
Exactly. It's just a matter of when these teams will decide to get aggressive here in this circle. Simplicity out there going to be continuing to take shots. We do hear some shots finally erupting out there. It looks like G25 going to be taking some shots over there at Space Station. Meanwhile, the Knights going to be connecting onto one of the members of Latinos Unidos.
Yeah, so LTU, Latinos Unidos, they it looks like they just lost Chacho, though. So Chacho, he actually is the one player from this team playing from Peru, while the rest of his team is from America. So he's got maybe a little bit of a desync or a bad ping in that fight against Pittsburgh Knights just now.
The Knights going to be staying grouped up right here. We do see the next circle pop, and guess what, Monica? Once again, we are going to have it favoring the west side.
What is
the
this
northwest.
circle?
So, X Gamer, they are in a good position right now to get some kills, try to gatekeep some of these teams that are going to be making their way on into this new circle. Same thing with AbusementPrk all the way up there on the coast. This is actually an insane circle.
Yeah, this is so long ago was the last time that I saw a circle this far up, very, very close to Zarky up in that area. But we have AbusementPrk there right by the coastline. You can see those orange hit markers coming out. They're shooting at everyone, rotating right on past them. Looks like LTU Gabriel now exploding G25 Cat God. They were trying to go for the rotation, and they lost Cat God in that process.
Pittsburgh Knights all going to be utilizing their vehicles right now, just straight up sending it. Latinos Unidos going to be right in front of them. Looks like Polar Race still with 4 members alive. Still 15 teams remaining. We only lost 1 team so far. So we have the majority of the lobby still in it here. All going to be fighting it out for very little terrain. Polar Race going to be in this compound, not in the new circle, but they're going to be using it for cover for the time being to try to get some nice shots out there. 4 Angry Babies will be attempting to toss out some grenades out there and try to connect onto Acer from Wildcard. Meanwhile, out there in the distance, the rejects are squaring off against Universe 7.
Yeah, Wildcard, this is their territory to play in. They land up in Suburnia, and they just had to shift a little bit over here. Acer coming down on the left side of that hill and gets a second knock onto 4AB. There's 1 player left standing. It is time. Can they get him? Oh, he's right out of the smoke, and he's just spraying down the smoke. He just flushes out a kill, but Time is still alive right now, just hiding, taking the time, hoping to met off. But Acer, he's got that grenade. He's cooking it. It might have his name right on it, but he's getting shot in the back from another team.
Time about 10% HP. Acer will be blowing up that vehicle to utilize it as some type of hard cover. Time tossing out smoke grenades one after another just to attempt to survive. Meanwhile, Spacestation Gaming here in the action, looking to get a piece of it for themselves. Will be coming up hot over here. Juicy gonna be taking some shots onto Acer. We'll be taking them down. Remember, Time from 4 Angry Babies is still out there in the smokes, trying to go unnoticed, while 2 members from Space Station are just raining down grenades onto Null right now.
Yeah, 4AB at Time. That was what he was hoping for. You know, he was about to get killed by Wildcard, but Null pulled up on one side, took out the majority of Wildcard, and then Spacestation Game came up on the bottom side of that hill, just peeked up and finished off Acer. So Time lives for another couple more minutes.
Outside out there in the distance will be still surviving after doing a nice little dodge and weave from Swifty. We saw one of the members from the Knights get a nice little run over in the kill feed. J7 gonna be fragging out onto Polar Race. Looks like there's a hot skirmish down there in the southern end of this new zone.
Oh, Sheepman just took out Time with that grenade.
Time. Yep,
Time was up for him. All right, now back onto this fight between Null and Spacestation Gaming. They're all on the edge. SSG still just outside the circle, but we got that first knock onto Null. Spacestation Gaming, they know they need to clear out this team before they can advance into the circle. All right, GCC's coming around on the right side, just looting up the crates from Wildcard and from 4 Angry Babies from that previous fight. But I think he's just, oh, there goes a second knock on the Fear. Now remember, every time you get knocked, you bleed out faster and faster. Right now, I think it is just Swifty left alive from Null.
This is actually a huge fight for Null or Spacestation Gaming because they're going to be right on the edge of the blue zone, closest to the new zone, so they can possibly use that hill and that crate, those trees up there for cover. Juicy going to be up there in the front line with Angry and Beach trying to take some shots with the M4. Going to be connecting onto Aubrey, just bleeding on out right there. And that's going to be it. That's going to be it. Spacestation Gaming just dominating the eastern edge right now. Will be spotting out AbusementPrk out there in the distance.
Swifty's actually still back there.
Fight. Swifty still in the smoke right now. Spacestation are starting to just surround him like a shark in the water here. The blood, they can smell it.
Yeah, the smoke. You only got about 40 seconds before it starts to dissipate. So Swifty's not making any sort of move, not giving away where he is, just hoping that Spacestation Gaming forgets him. But if he's going to get out of this situation, he's going to need a 1v4 Spacestation Gaming, your number 2 team right now in semifinals. No, he's still just laying there.
How many smokes? How many smokes?
How
the thing
many
is,
smokes?
Spacestation, they have to know. They definitely know that. I see. Actually, I don't know. No one's looking at the smokes from Spacestation right now.
You know, they should have been paying attention to the kill feed. They know that there's one person left alive, but we hopped over onto Tribe in Universe 7 now. So all these teams just kind of hugging the clubs. Oh, they forgot. They completely forgot about Swifty.
Beach is walking right through Swifty.
He might just trip on his face.
Swifty toss out that other smoke. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Swifty, I believe Swifty went unnoticed until that one smoke came out and Beach was just happening to rotate with the team over here. But Monica, the southern end of this circle is just jammed.
Absolute nightmare.
Traffic jam over here.
Yeah, Unreal, he just pops up with a 3-time just spraying out over there. It looks like Spacestation Gaming now took out Pittsburgh Knights. That's the team they wanted to take out. That's the team that's right ahead of them in semifinals. So Spacestation Gaming collecting some more kills or some more points for themselves right now. But I think all of them right now, they're just kind of watching the map. They're waiting to see where these teams are going to have to or be forced to move after this one.
So out of all these teams right now, AbusementPrk still going to be up there in the north of the road, while the other 8 squads are south of the road. If you are AbusementPrk, you are feeling so good right now. You got your numbers. It's all about keeping everybody alive and just trying to get some type of third-party action up while we wait for the next circle. I got a good feeling. AbusementPrk has a good feeling. And look at that, Monica. We see in the top right-hand corner, the circle will actually go up there to AbusementPrk. So all 7 of these squads are going to have to run across this open field while fighting each other.
Yeah, where AbusementPrk now, it's pretty much a prime positioning here. It's almost like yesterday's game where Pittsburgh Knights, remember, they were on the complete clear side of the circle, and they just had to wait for all the teams within Yasnaya to take each other out. So this is exactly what is happening here at AbusementPrk. I think Spacestation Games is going to be the first one. They like to clear the edges of the circles before they advance, but they find that little shack right now, but they have AbusementPrk. Look how much circle control they have in that mini map right now. They're just waiting for these teams to start tanking it into the circle.
The thing is with that shack that Spacestation are in, it's not going to be in the circle, but it will allow them to have some type of hard cover while they assess the situation and possibly have the opportunity to gatekeep these teams. Also rotating on into that same section over there. We got Tribe, we got Universe 7. Looks like Simplicity on the opposite end of the map was able to make it on into the west. And Latinos Unidos trying to survive just a little longer with their solo player out there. F's in the chat for both of those solo members out there. X-Gamers will be going out in 6th position. Latinos Unidos in 7th position. 2 members live for Simplicity. Still 4 live for AbusementPrk. They're just out there, like you said, Monica, trying to do everything in their power to control the zone right now.
Yeah, right now, Doc, he's trying to blow up the car, the car that they brought with them into the end stage of the game, making sure that a different team can't blow up for them and just take him out. Tribe, they are just on the edge of the road. Looks like Spacestation Gaming. Yeah, they left that check and found that little boulder right now. Ooh. Oh, but he finds King A in the grass. Cuts off the head of the snake. So Tribe and Spacestation Gaming being torn apart right now by each other and getting third party from the outskirts. We do see a drop. Very tempting in the middle of the circle.
I love how Oxide ended up pushing out from Abusement Park to try to get that angle out there to the east to maybe get some shots on to Spacestation Gaming. Only one left She-Fan from Spacestation Gaming, as the other members are going to be bleeding on now. Same thing with Tribe. You got Epic still alive. Should be able to get King A up. King A is going to be crawling back to Epic with these smokes providing the cover. And looks like Spacestation Gaming will also be able to get the reset over here, as they do have that rock or the hard cover. But my main focus right now, what will Abusement Park do with their numbers advantage?
I really like the position Abusement Park has right now. Richie and Survival just on top. Survival with PP19 finding Asen. Richie also with that mini getting Juicy, and Oxide finishing out. Oh my god, Spacestation Gaming. I think that was it for them. So now we are down 2-3. Abusement Park, Simplicity, and Tribe within the circle.
Molly trying to get that on top of those last two members of Simplicity. Will be landing right in front of Lolo's face over here, but Lolo's still going to be safe and secure behind this tree. But for how long, we do see next circle will go on up. If you are a Tribe fam, make sure you spam those emotes in the chat. Fear the Tribe.
Fear the
two
Tribe.
members alive. They have the new zone. It's up to Abusement Park to clear out these edges and not get killed by these remaining snakes.
Yeah, right now, Abusement Park, they really need to clear out that right side where Simplicity is. They probably know that it's not a full team over there. They can see that there are 8 players left alive. They know there's 4 players on their team, so that's probably, they can figure out that it's 2 duos right now. Abusement Park now coming out with the smokes. This is where you want to save your utilities at the end. Tribe finding Lolo, though. The snake in the grass with just 1 left from Simplicity. Oh, Doc gets the knock. That was crucial right there.
Oh! The pull up right now. We got the Uzis locked and loaded.
Oh!
He's going to be connecting. Can they get it on the second attempt? Richie's going to be pulling up as well. King A still the second.
He's going to get the second one.
Richie's going to be knocked down and out as well. It's up to Oxide. Going to be taking down King A, but Simplicity right there. Doc going to be out there in the distance just trying to third party. Oh my goodness, how mistakes are made.
Yeah, that was definitely a very uncoordinated push from Abusement Park, which left them very, very exposed, and that actually just gave a point to Tribe when he was able to get the flush when he bled out. So right now we have Survival and Oxide from Abusement Park, and then the 1 player left from Simplicity. Lolo right now, he knows there's no way in hell he's gonna get revived, so he's just coming over, feeding the information back to Doc and trying to give him a fighting chance. Doc spraying.
Hey, Survival knows what's up. PUBG Mobile tweeted out, I believe today or yesterday, what the best combo was, and I said a Bison with another Bison, and we see Survival coming up into the end zones with a Bison, trying to make me proud out here, and just like that, gonna be getting the final blow onto Doc. Abusement Park not throwing it at the end there, even though they had a little mishap, losing 2 of their members, getting knocked by King A, the snake out there, will be securing themselves a 3rd place for Tribe, but Simplicity just reading the zone so well at the end, gonna be getting 2nd place.
Yeah, Abusement Park living up to their names. They, their name is kind of a play on Amusement Park, and then also they want to abuse their enemies. So they definitely abused everyone in that last final circle. Survival with the 7 kills, just caring for his team. So very, very impressed with what Abusement Park showed us just now.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, this is going to be groups A versus B all night long. There's still going to be 3 more maps to go, so don't go nowhere. We're going to come back with some more North America PUBG semifinals action.
Next map is going to be Sanhok.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back bringing you game number 2 here on the nice, moist Sanhok match. I'm Mustache Dave, of course, joined with Monica.
Thanks for that introduction. Excited for Sanhok. I think Sanhok is smallest map in PUBG Mobile. It's only 4 kilometer by 4 kilometers, so we're gonna see a lot faster of fights. There are fights happening earlier in the match because it's literally the half the size of Erangel, so these same number of players but just condensed into a smaller amount of space.
So we'll see. We'll see. It's kind of like that toss-up for me when it comes to the scoreboard. You never know which team's going to come out on top, who is the best performer here. Sanhok is all about avoiding getting third-partied while taking engagements and really planning it out and being methodical in it. So great game for AbusementPrk game number 1. Let us know in the YouTube comments. Let us know in the Twitch chat who you think will be the chicken dinner winners here on our Sanhok map. A versus B here tonight. Match number 2. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so this circle right now, it is the smallest map, so you can long jump pretty far to the edges of this map. I'm going to see Pittsburgh Knights is already going to be, they usually go to Camp Bravo all the way up in the northeast part of the map. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it, or they have to kind of drop a little bit short and kind of split loot some of the compounds all the way around it. Let's see, what else do we have? We have Tribe going out already to Sami. They've been going there for a very, very long time. And then, let's just see, looks like Spacestation Gaming dropping all the way into boot camp. I would have expected to see 4AD with them as well.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be by themselves. Maybe 4 Angry Babies. They are going to have Paradise Resort ult themselves, and just south of them, a couple squads still going to be jumping on in their parachutes. Look like Null will be in high tan. So just a quick reminder, some people in the Twitch chat, top 16 squads over the next 3 days will move on into the finals. Each and every single group will have the opportunity to play out 10 games each. That's the format. That's what the deal is. Top 16 is the main objective here for all of these squads.
Yeah, I'm looking at the circle now. It's probably most likely gonna end up on that northwestern island over there. AbusementPrk, they landed into ruins. Oh, we have our first blood. X Gamers and Pittsburgh Knights. Remember, I said Pittsburgh Knights couldn't make it all the way over to where they normally drop, so they landed just short of it, and I think X Gamers was able to find one of their players, Raven, and take him out. They also have Polar Ace right on them as well. Oh no. Jagger, no helmet whatsoever, and he's got Rio YouTube right on top of him. He's just waiting for some reinforcements from the rest of the team behind him.
Jagger with that S12 ready to pump and dump. Rio with the Yump going to be using this moment to try to evacuate the area, but it doesn't look like Jagger will allow these easy points to slip on out of their grasp. Yes, Rio will have some support from their squad mates out there trying to take some shots on the Jagger, but it might be a lost cause, as we do see the remaining members from Polar Ace going to continue back into their looting strategies out here, because we see them, they don't have anything. No helmets, nothing.
Yeah, this is the disadvantages of landing somewhere kind of close to other teams. You're going to be lightly looted up. You know, it's just some of the loot that you would have tried to get at some of the compounds is now taken up by some other teams. So Pittsburgh Knights, they're just going to have to kind of just trash looting. Like, they have to just kind of make their way into the circle, but just kind of loot up individually one by one the different compounds. Right now we got G25 over by Quarry with Latinos Unidos right next to them. They get the first knock onto Kira YouTube.
Latinos Unidos. You were talking to me on the break about them. You said you had some nice little cool information
so
about them.
if you remember the last Sanhok match that these teams played in, Latinos Unidos was actually the one that won the whole game, and Kira was able to get 10 out of 12 kills from his team. So that I was gonna say, this is the team to watch. We're off to a very rocky start into this match already.
Yeah, maybe because of how huge of a success they were on Sanhok, maybe some other teams paid closer attention to them during the VOD reviews, as they're going to see G25 Cat God going to be tossing out some grenades over there. Looks like Latinos Unidos are going to be getting collapsed in on right now. Gabriel's going to be bleeding on out right now. Kira, like you mentioned, getting 10 out of the 12 kills in the last Sanhok map for Latinos Unidos, is going to be out here trying to heal on up. The med situation looking awfully scuffed right now. Chacho, no meds to their name, going to be taking some shots out there, trying to keep G25 at bay. Akira tries to heal on up.
Yeah, so G25 now, they're kind of spreading out a little bit, getting those angles. They get the knock onto Kira, so right now it's only 2 left standing from Latinos Unidos. Oh, Cat God getting knocked as well. So G25, they got casualties on either side right now.
Going for a revive right in the open. That's confidence. And just like that, 3 members from Latinos Unidos will be knocked down and out. They are going to still have one of their members alive out there playing that insurance policy, dipping from the situation pretty early on, cutting their losses, and hopefully going for as many placement points as possible now in this game.
Yeah, they just need to get away and try to save themselves as much as possible. So Revo is going to be the solo. He's just going to be playing it very passive for the rest of the match. Right now we have Polar Ace and Pittsburgh Knights. They were right on top of each other, so the story's not done yet. And we have Pittsburgh Knights just over on side of hill. I think Polar Ace was able to scout that out. I think they're trying to back up off of this one just a little bit and not poke the bear. That is Pittsburgh Knights.
Yeah, and as if it wasn't interesting enough, Universe 7 right to the south of this as well. So there's a 3-way standoff, and all these teams are not going to be on in circle number 1. So they need to keep that in mind. Positioning is everything here on Sanhok. We'll see what one of these 3 teams will be the victors out there in the West. Meanwhile, Spacestation Gaming find themselves in a standoff right now. Like you mentioned, most likely the next circle will favor the island up there to the northwest, and Spacestation Gaming betting on that as well, Monica.
Yeah, Spacestation Gaming, they had bootcamp all to themselves, so they find the skinniest part in the water to try to swim across. But back on this fight with Pittsburgh Knights in Universe 7, Sam, you saw it before, he turned one way, got a knock onto one of the members of Polar Ace, and then turned another way and got that knock onto Universe 7. Sam is definitely known for his long distance spraying and being just so accurate with his shots.
So we do have Sam, J7, 2 members from the Knights, going to be taking on 3 members of Universe 7 because Rad is going to be all the way back there on the coast, still looting on up, while Versace is going to be up here, getting close and personal. Sam, with the suppressed Vector, is going to be taking a couple shots out there and then pulling back to the safety of the compound because J7, unfortunately, was knocked in that engagement.
Yeah, so he's going to be in kind of the same situation as Latinos Unidos Revo, where they're just the solo players left. There's no way to get his teammates back up, so they're just going to, edge it. Kind of lots of really good hiding spots in Sanhok to have, but definitely not the ideal situation for Pittsburgh Knights or Latinos Unidos.
You see Sam standing their ground out here, attempting to make the retreat, but like we mentioned, there's 3 squads practically on top of one another. Sam going to be going in for some revenge play out here, chunking them down to about 5% HP.
Yeah, Universe 7, I think they're getting a little bit shot at from Pittsburgh Knights, and I think they know that they are so far outside the circle. They, might just want to come at this fight a different way. Sam, he's using that free look, using that little eyeball just to keep his eyes on Polar Ace, but he's actually running right straight for Devil, actually. So Sam, he definitely needs to, so he's paying attention to Camp Bravo, but doesn't realize that he's about to run into one of the other members of Polar Ace.
Trying to see, is Sam the last remaining member alive for the team? Yes.
Yeah, J7 just split out.
Wow, J7 bleeding on out here. I mean, if you're Sam, there's still 14 teams, well, 13 other squads alive besides yourself here. We keep seeing Sam take some shots out here, but I feel like Sam should prioritize just getting on into the new circle.
Oh,
I guess if you see a free kill, go for it, but gonna be connecting on the Devil out there.
Doc's back.
Race quickly take some shots back at him though.
Yeah, absolutely. So he took one, so he's not going out with a fight, but Polar Ace now with the blue right on their backside. It is the first zone, so not going to do too much damage yet. They kind of afford to take their time to get in the circles. No big rush yet, but Sam, he is also kind of in the same boat, just stuck in this little compound with no way to get back into the zone.
Sam out there setting up to take some shots on a Krish out there now in the blue. All 3 of these teams need to prioritize making their way on into circle number 1. They are spending so much time out here. When it comes to Sam, the solo member, they're just looking to get as many points as possible. So far, 1 kill on to Sam. Trying to get some more out here. Trying to make the team proud. put on for the squad out here. Going to be popping onto the 2-seater. Now going with that rotate.
Yeah, that could be the saving grace for Sam because there's not a whole lot of vehicle spawns actually on Sanhok. So not only that, there's also very, very few smokes. So, this is just kind of not a whole lot of resources for you to use on Sanhok. So Sam kind of gifted that right there. But on his backside, Nomi is taking a couple shots at it. I don't think he was quite landing those, but we're just waiting for the circle to now close to tell us where these teams are going to be forced to go. Oh. Right down in the middle now. So we got water, like big waterways just dividing all these teams here. So it's really about, which team picked the right island to hold up on, because if you're trying to cross over the water kind of in the late stage of the game, you're definitely going to be spotted out and definitely be killed by whichever team is on the other coast.
Yeah, it's very interesting circle indeed. I mean, we got AbusementPrk still going to be out there in the west. We got Tribe right on top of them, Spacestation Gaming, and somewhat of a centralized position here. This circle can still go to any one of the 3 islands here. It hasn't really made up its mind. We might even see it continue to favor the shallow waters out here in between all the islands. We've seen that before in the group stages here in North America. Will be interesting to say at the least. 14 teams remaining here. X Gamers are going to be out there in boot camp. G25 just south of that. The Rejects just north of the ruins. Just getting a nice little overview. So far, so good for majority of these squads. Sam, though, still out there putting up a fight, Monica.
Yeah, talking about things we've seen in group stages, we actually, if you remember, I think it was the first or second day of group stages, Wildcard won the game. It landed in that little island that was just north of boot camp. You know what I'm talking about? The one with like 2 buildings on it and a big mountainside over there. So there is a 4th island in play here.
And you know what? Wildcard, they're the ones that won that game.
Yeah, it looks like Simplicity Lolo. He was laying prone, just reducing his recoil as much as possible. Was just taking shots at Spacestation Gaming. But let's see, where all these teams just kind of centering up a little bit more. Spacestation Gaming, this is one of their favorite spots to play as well, just on the other side of boot camp. I'm very familiar with this terrain.
Circle's finally starting to close on in right now. Lolo, I believe, spotting out Beach, taking a couple shots out there. Beach going to be healing on up. I'm still stuck on the fact that Nomi and Sam are fighting in the blue here. This is like a fight to the death over here.
Yeah.
Sam, 2 bandages, I think it's just getting crazy out there.
Actually, interesting. We have AbusementPrk now, just kind of really spread out. They were the ones that landed ruins, and they just came across the bridge. I think it was only one other team that landed in Hating. They had pretty much a free rotation across that bridge. Nobody was there to bridge camp them. But over here, back on this fight with Spacestation Gaming and Simplicity. This is third-person perspective, so these teams, they are a little bit more cautious, a little more patient. You have to be, because you can't just, like in first-person perspective that, we've all played in classics, you can kind of rely on your fast reaction to take shots at other players. But in third-person perspective, anybody could be behind any sort of wall and have the information on you.
Mm-hmm. We got Lolo out here trying to be one with the bush. Going for that snake venom strategy, and a couple other members from Simplicity. Everything is just calm. It's the calm before the storm, as the next circle is almost fully completed. We still got Sam out there in the blue, off the map,
they're actually
all the way to the right.
Oh, actually, I thought they were right on top of each other, but I think somebody disengaged from that.
Yeah, they're gonna be chunking down pretty low. Meanwhile, the rest of the teams are going to be playing it safe within the confines of the circles. Will the shift go west? Will it go east? Will it go south? Will it go north? Time will tell. Just a couple more seconds.
Yeah, oh, it's big boy time. You got an for X Gamer. They had a crate land right there, so that's definitely gonna give them a huge advantage going into the end stages of the game. And the circle shifted right on top of bootcamp. So Spacestation Gaming definitely regretting swimming across there, because now they have to come back, while X Gamers is just hugging that cliffside. You can see Rufino there, and he's just gonna be watching for anyone swimming across.
So the question for you, Monica, if you are Spacestation, do you remain on that coastline and try to gatekeep some teams that are on that western island, or do you prioritize getting back into a more centralized position? What are your thoughts?
I think Spacestation Gaming, they're definitely kings of playing edge. So they still have time right here. I think they're just gonna let everything unravel around them. As a Simplicity, oh, actually Simplicity's on the move now. Simplicity crashed is coming in to Spacestation. So they're forcing the fight now. So whatever Spacestation Gaming wanted to do, they're gonna have to ditch that because now they have somebody knocking on their door, and that is Simplicity right now.
Yeah, and we still see Angry out there on the coastal line, kind of doing a little bit of scouting, you know, checking to see if boot camp is free and clear. It looks like Russell was able to successfully overtake one of these little bungalows right here with their vehicle. I don't want to see Russell make the aggressive push without their squad mates. Here we come. Lolos gonna be pushed on up. Oh, Russell got caught peeking that corner, body fully exposed, trying to throw a grenade. Oh, that was something else. Lolo here to provide that support. This is going to be a risky revive because we got Sheepan already trying to get the flush.
Yeah, Spacestation Gaming, this is what they do best. You know, they push up, they give it no breathing room whatsoever for the team that they're fighting to get out of there. Russell, he just got that first aid up. Lolo, he's trying to apply some pressure, you know, give some time for the rest of his team to come along. But Doc and Irish are playing Overwatch from pretty far away at a different rock. Looks like Lolo with that AK hitting the headshots on Beach and goes for the immediate third.
Ooh, Lolo breaching on into the compound with that AKM. Gonna be spraying and praying. We'll be connecting onto one of the members from Space Station. How the tables have turned. Juicy will be tossing a molly on into there, attempting to get the burn on. G-Fan gonna be popping the corner on the left-hand side. Gonna be connected on by Irish. Russell popping up with the Vector, trying to get the flush out here.
Yeah, Spacestation Gaming.
Like Simplicity doing a great job.
Half of them, they're already running Juicy and Angry. They knew it was just, you know, they weren't going to be able to win this fight 2v4 against Simplicity. Also, you know, on the edge of the circle. So they just disengaged from that. They're going to, they're just going to get into the circle now, get a little bit closer to the shore. But definitely the damage has been done. They've been crippled for the rest of the game.
Maybe Russell fully exposing their body there, throwing that grenade was the ultimate bait to kind of read the hand of Space Station Gaming and get them to fully commit to that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure Russell will agree with me on that one, but they were able to successfully overthrow two of the members from Space Station. I mean, we still got Angry out there on the coast, kind of doing a little bit of scouting. Looks like Wildcard are going to be making their way on into the zone from the northern side as well. I do believe we lost Sam. The blue survivor out there was not able to successfully make it on into the circle. Unfortunate, but they were able to get at least another kill under the name, under the belt for the team. Juicy going to be holding this rock right now, looking for some revenge, Monica.
Yeah, he's definitely a little salty that the other half of his team was taken out. Angry. I think he's trying to find the opening, trying to find a way for his IGL Juicy to come up right behind him. Right now, back on the boot camp, we have X Gamers. They still hold up in there with 4AB and the G25 overlooking from the hillside. Simplicity now. They're making their move now. The blue, they've got about 35 seconds before it starts coming in. Oh, they may have just found Juicy.
Spotted. And taken out. Juicy. The final blow right there from Simplicity. Trying to be the victors of this long fight. Now they will, like you said, most likely have the opportunity to swim on over to the mainland. A boot camp.
Oh, but Tribe just on the other side of the hill. Simplicity now diverting their attention over there. Oh my.
Sea Gut with the beautiful shot. Beautiful shot.
So we got double arms in this match now.
Double arms.
One from Sea Gut and one with X Gamers in boot camp.
Oh my goodness. X Gamers have been occupying boot camp for some time. Now they will be tested to see if they could defend. Tribe going to be making the first plunge to swim across to boot camp. Simplicity right on their tail end. King A trying to hold off Simplicity, protecting their squad mates to make the swim the dangerous journey.
Yeah, whenever you have a team that needs to cross the water like that, you need to have one person that stays behind, plays Overwatch, kind of make sure that the coast is clear to get for the entire team to cross over. Otherwise, the team would come over and just completely shoot at all four players in the water, and they have no way to defend themselves. Looks like AbusementPrk. The fight of Boot Camp Hill. Looks like Survival going down. G25 also taking a casualty, losing AN. Oh, Oxide is pushing up. Oh, strike over there gets
caught off guard.
Oxide down. So Cat God so well, waiting for the perfect moment. So AbusementPrk, your winners from the last match. Now only Richie left alive.
G25 losing only one member out of that engagement. We saw AbusementPrk making the pull up, but it looks like Medic from behind trying to get a piece of the action for themselves. Avenger holding that rock. The man gonna be going for that drop shot, not successful. Cat God still gonna be fragging out right now. Cat God taking some hit fire onto Avenger, but Avenger will be getting the final blow. Kodo, the last remaining member right now for G25, is gonna be pulling back, trying to go for positioning now, as we are gonna see Medic looking for some more kills.
That's why Uzis, those are the kings of close quarter combat fights. You can just get the knock so quickly. Looks like he's trying to get the knock under G. He had to go for the reload and sprays, but unfortunately was not able to land those shots. So Eldorado, he's going to need to pick up the pieces right behind him. Kodo, he's still third partying though. Oh, Kodo left the fight, but still came back to finish off Richie.
Hey, looking for them free kills out here on Sanhok, you know, take a couple shots out there. If no one knows where you're getting shot from, might as well attempt, as we are going to see a couple players starting to get taken down by the play zone right now. Universe 7 going to be the only squad within the new circle taking up a centralized position extremely early on. Versace already going to be in that little building out there. We can see him right on over the hill. Rebo still alive. Remember, Latinos Unidos losing 3 members extremely early. I give my hat down to Rebo to continue to survive, as we do have 9 squads remaining. X-Gamers, 4 Angry Babies are going to be on in that boot camp area. Spring from Wildcard going to be alive, not with the squad, as Acer and Percocet will be taking some shots onto time.
Yeah, Wildcard, they really haven't heard that much from them in this match before. Yet they, Land and Cow, they just kind of stayed out of everybody's way. They only have 2 kills to their name so far, but they got time. Yeah, just like you said, just on the north side of them, while the rest of 4AB is still within boot camp fighting against X-Gamers.
Trying to see what happened to Tribe. The Tribe, did they get just
I think they got
pinched?
play zoned,
They got taken apart. King A still gonna be alive in the blue right now, trying to make up their mind if they want to send it right on through boot camp. 4 Angry Babies, X-Gamers gonna be on the edge of boot camp right now, just fighting it out to see who will be their survivors here on the edge. Using this wall as cover. Maniac going to be lean peeking, going to be taking shots on the alley card, as they did attempt to vault on off of that roof out there. And looks like X-Gamers are going to be utilizing these smokes to try to push on into his new zone. Pretender Zeus using these obstacles as hard cover. And looks like 4 Angry Babies are going to be the last remaining team to come on out of boot camp.
Yeah, this was the perfect circle for Universe 7. They're right smack dab in the middle, the only compound within. They're just going to have to look around and gatekeep everyone else from coming on in. Looks like Wildcard now making their way down. Oh, time. That perfect nade from Percocet gets him out. So clearing out that side at least. So 4AB now kind of stuck in the corner of boot camp with everyone else looking right at them.
Just an update. King 8 is still alive out there, making their way on through boot camp.
He's just metting it up.
The last remaining member for Tribe, trying to out-survive everybody else here in the lobby. Wildcard, 3 alive. Universe 7, going to be right smack in the middle, holding down these compounds. A 2-1 split. Survival, probably up there in the north, overlooking all this.
Yeah, he just died to the play zone. At least he was able to, defend, not able to give, not getting that free kill point to anybody. Looks like Pretender just got knocked, so Wildcard now, they, the smokes are a dead giveaway. They know they're over there. Zeus, he's just gonna need to met it up, and, best thing he can do is just met it up, hope that another team goes out before him, and he can get one better placement point over another team.
It all comes down to this 5 teams remaining. Like you said, Monica, 4 Angry Babies probably going to get blue zoned out there. They are pinched down. They don't want to give away a free point to, say, Wildcard or Universe 7. Just try to out-heal right now. That's what Zeus is going to be doing, attempting to possibly out-survive any other solo members that might still be alive out here, such as Survival. Universe 7, will their compounds be favored in the next zone?
Plays him
Yes,
just
he will.
without Zeus. Yeah, for Universe 7. Right now, it's kind of a survival. He's not going to move at all. Latinos Unidos, Revo, finally got taken out by Wildcard. So right now, it's going to be Universe 7 against Wildcard. And then survival, he just needs to hold on and hope that the other two teams pay attention to each other and not him.
Yeah, survival might be able to utilize this moment to maybe crawl up there to that little shack that we do see at the bottom of our screen, because looks like Universe 7, they're going to be occupied right now with Wildcard up here on top of this hill. Rad is going to need to be extremely cautious. Rad seeing most likely these members from Wildcard up there holding this nice angle, but if they make a peek on up to take some shots, they're going to fully expose themselves to the members of Wildcard. So it's going to be dangerous. And yes, survival did use that moment, that precious time, to push on closer to the new zone.
Yeah, he got that first knock on Universe 7 with the grenade, and Wildcard is taking complete advantage of the situation now. They know this team, they're coming in for the third party, so it's just, oh no, it is just one player left alive from Universe 7. Unruly, the entirety of Wildcard right on him. Survival, he's on the backside. Gets Acer tank low, he gets a knock onto Acer. Trying to go for the flush out, confirming that one kill, but he's out in the blue zone. He knows somebody else is over here, and Percocet is able to flush him out. So Wildcard coming in at the very, very end and taking the win away from AbusementPrk.
I don't care. I don't care. I mean, survival still being able to get a second place over the squad as a solo member. I mean, Universe 7, they had 3 alive right smack in the middle. They are getting taken down and shot at from multiple angles. They were not able to defend, unfortunate for them. Wildcard, though, with 3 alive at the end, doing what we know they can do best, and that's get a chicken dinner on Sanhok.
I think what Survival did was pretty ingenious. You know, he it just didn't look good for him because he was the one solo left with, I think it was 3 from Universe 7 and then 3 or 4 for 3 players from Wildcard, right? So you would think to look at those numbers and think that he'll probably go out in 3rd place, right? But he threw the perfect grenade, used that distraction to run up across the road to get up a little bit closer, and then that was kind of the cue for Wildcard to push down from the hill, come in, overwhelm Universe 7, take them completely out, and then it was just survival and the players from Wildcard. And not only that, he was able to outgun Acer and get the thirst to get that extra 1 point for the kill.
And a big shout out to Revo to be able to get 4th place as a solo member since the beginning of this game. I mean, that is best case scenario for any solo player who loses their squad so early on. So with that being said, we got 2 more maps to go. Don't go nowhere. We will be right back after the break. Let's get back into some North American PUBG action over here in the semifinals. Mustache Dave laying down tonight. We also got Monica on the track. How's it going, Monica? I mean, we had two really good, interesting games so far.
We had two intense games so far. So we're going into our third one. Super, super excited for this one because Miramar, it is definitely, it's going to be a marathon for these players. It's the biggest map for PUBG Mobile. This is the map that takes the longest. We just had Sanhok, that's the shortest map in terms of playing time. So this one's going to feel much longer coming, or just following Sanhok.
So pretty much what you're saying is have your popcorn ready, have your smoothies locked and loaded, ready to go, ready to chug, and just have a good old time out here in the desert while these teams duke it out, fight it out. We were talking on the break, there might be some contested loot locations coming into this Miramar match. One would hope to see.
One would hope.
We know how we love that bloodshed early on.
So this one, it's kind of favoring more on the eastern side. We're probably going to have Null and Universe 7. They usually drop Impala together. I'm already seeing, it looks like AbusementPrk. So usually they go Los Leones, but this time around I think they checked, what teams are in the lobby with them, trying to see what were some free spots. And Camp Militar, definitely a lot of loot to be had, but it's on, you can see it, that extreme corner of the map for Miramar. So wherever this next circle goes, they're going to have to really be diligent about leaving early to rotate into the circle.
I hope it goes up top. I hope it goes north. I hope they're favored in it. I hope the bold plays out here, drop locations, pay off for our game number 1 chicken dinner winners. You love to see some disrupts in the leaderboards, but one team to kind of maybe shed some light on, Monica, and maybe get your take. Spacestation Gaming. I mean, circle. 2 games so far. They haven't been performing too hot.
So we have Pittsburgh Knights, one that I definitely wanted to highlight. They in Erangel, they're really known to be playing very, very center, very confidently. But in Miramar, they play more edge. So this team, it's very, very flexible with the kind of play styles that they're able to kind of exert, and then be just very flexible on all the different maps that they play on.
That's the name of the game. Flexibility is key here, as you got to pretty much play at the mercy of the circles. And like you said, circle number 1 right smack dead in the middle of Miramar. So all these squads should not have too hard of a time to make it on in. But talk about some early game challenges. Puerto Paraiso, we got Bat, we got Null. They're going to be out there all the way down there in the south, the southeast, duking it out very early on. Over here, looks like Bat will be losing one of the members very early on. It looks like Null might have the same issue occur on their side as well.
Yeah, this is actually where I would have expected Spacestation Gaming to go. This would have been where, it would have been a very, very easy drop from the plane path to go to Puerto Paraiso, but I think they were the ones that did their research. They know that, their secondary drop location is Monte Nuevo. I've seen them go, when the circle is more kind of on the western side, that's where they tend to go. But it looks like this time around they grabbed their vehicles and they drove the rest of the way there. I think they knew that they're going to have a lot of company over in the city, and they didn't want to deal with it. So they let Null, they let Bats just kind of have their own fight while they just kind of laugh and loot up uncontested on the other side of the map.
I mean, you're already committed at this point, I feel like, for both teams. So you're definitely going to have to play this one out. You really can't disengage without possibly getting backstabbed in the process, just because circle number 1 is going to be to the northwest of their current location. So I don't see any true safe routes to kind of get on out of here without at least losing another casualty. King G out here in the distance in this large warehouse might be able to actually get out of here if they wanted to, but the question is, will they?
Yeah, Miramar 2, you need to be rotating early on the map if you want to get in the circle, or just, allot yourself a little bit more time. It's just much harder to get around on Miramar thanks to just the miles and miles of bumpy, just awkward terrain that you have to drive around, and a lot of times you get your vehicle stuck on those, so you need your teammate to come, give you a little bit of a bump, or just kind of just forget the vehicle altogether. So just definitely it's a lot slower and a lot harder to rotate on Miramar than all the other maps.
So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if any of these squads down here in Puerto Priso end up getting a vehicle to have the option to rotate on into circle free and clear. Space Station Gaming, you brought them up. Not dropping in their normal loot location, but it does look like they're going to be having no team contest them over here in Monte Nuevo. You'd like to see it. They're going to be all the way out there on the west side of circle number 1, pretty much free and clear. Nobody near them for the time being.
Yeah, ex-gamers, they're the ones that usually go to El Pozo, so they're just to kind of their north side from Monte Nuevo, but instead they went to La Coperia, so they, you know, a lot of teams picking different drop spots that I wouldn't have expected them to take in, with that plane path.
Maybe that's the strat. You know, group stages, drop somewhere, have fun, make sure you qualify, and then when it comes to the semifinals, change it up, and keep the other teams guessing, and keep them working hard. You know, keep them working hard during VOD reviews, and just trying to strategize around your loot locations and not be so predictable. Especially here on Miramar, you don't want to be that predictable because teams could easily set up a nice little camp on you because there's not many strong rotates when it comes to like clear pathways in, like easy without, like you said, kind of risking your vehicles out there in the dangerous terrain, El Dorado, and the bus.
Yeah. What do you call this vehicle? The bus?
The bus.
I called it, I think one time I called it the Scooby-Doo van, is what I called it.
Does look like a Scooby-Doo van.
Depending on the skin that you have on it. Ooh, back on the fight with Bats and Null. Looks like Null was actually, they only started with 3. So down to only 2. So Issue gets knocked. Bats now on the aggressive push. Oh, Fear's almost getting tagged up there. Almost getting knocked from the hillside. Oh, the Uzi gets him out.
Uzi always wins. Uzi is like the hottest gun out here.
I think it's just
for sure.
Uzi is just the super fast fire rate of the Uzi. In that it's just the king of close quarter combats. It's like, you know, you're taking a fight and you hear that Uzi, your heart just suddenly stops and you kind of second guess yourself. You know, if you're running at it with an AR, that Uzi is gonna absolutely shred through your armor and through your helmet.
I mean, what in your, you know, your experience, like what is the counter to the Uzi? Like, how can you counter an Uzi?
Well, with an Uzi, it only has, if it doesn't have an extended mag, it's only 25, but if it has an extended mag, it's 35 bullets, so it's definitely making that person, you know, peeking this person and making them waste their bullets, and they have to go for the reload, and at the point where they have to reload, they can't shoot back. That's when you kind of aggress and try to take them out. So, although the Uzi is very strong, it does have its weaknesses as well.
Uh-oh.
Coming with that buff.
Are we going to continue to just worm it out here, or are we going to just let that drive on by? Not noticing us? Yeah, we are. Going to be popping up, taking some shots onto the back tail of the members out here.
One more shot and he would have taken Theano down.
I mean, oh, what's going on? Are they turning around? Are we turning around? We're looking for the fight. We didn't appreciate those shots out there. Oh, because they're so low on in the blue as well.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So they needed to pump the brakes right there and make sure they do get their revive. This is going to hurt Bats so much right now. They're spending so much time on this now because of that solo player from Null.
Yeah, every other team is in the circle now. If I was Kazuya, I would have just let them go, honestly. But I think he was trying to collect a couple kills. But it's going to be, if you don't have a vehicle in Miramar, you're going to have a very bad time. And I think that's what we're seeing with Kazuya. But now we switch on this fight. Looks like Universe 7 and 4 Angry Babies just on the other sides of the cliffs from each other.
We got Zeus. We got Pretender. We see out in the kill feed. Seagut, mistakes are made out there.
Seagut.
Actually, sure. I mean, you brought it up. You know, driving vehicles could be dangerous here on Miramar. You flip, you turn, you keep rolling. You know, another team sees that. They're not going to hesitate to take some easy shots.
Absolutely. All right, circle's about to close one more time. A lot of these teams are kind of right in the center. You can see on that southeastern side, you still have Bats, you still have Null kind of hanging out, and it just kind of goes up into that northwest part of the circle. So Spacestation Gaming, remember, they went to Monte Nuevo. They definitely picked the right place, the right half of the map to drop, because now they're going to just be centering up, and this is definitely one of their favorite maps to play.
Gonna play this one out over here. Looks like they are gonna be out there in the distance. Tribe Epic up here on top of one of the trailer parks, trying to get some information. Their squad mates gonna be evacuating the area. Remember, Sega we saw in the kill feed not too long ago, getting killed in action, leaving Tribe with only 3 members alive. But you see what they can do in the end game. Their snake game just too strong. 4 angry babies, all in their vehicles. We're going to be checking out the circle one more time up there in the top right hand corner. Space Station going to be centralizing themselves up right smack in the middle. Looks like Bat going to be attempting to gatekeep that last remaining member from Null, still out there in the blue.
I see 4AB, this is what I talked about before. Just very slow rotation, just lots of little bumps you have to come over, and buggies it does to help you get over that terrain. But now we have G25 pulling up right next to Tribe Epic, finding his way on top of those houses. This is kind of one of the hardest places to have fights in Miramar because there's so many little corners, so many little kind of just pieces of the houses, of the fences and everything that anyone could be hiding, especially hiding in third-person perspective. I think Epic just wants to get out of there. The rest of Tribe also taking a couple shots from Cat God from G25 Gaming.
Yeah. They don't. Oh! Little roll right there. Little flare, little action right there for the bus as G25 is going to be overthrowing Tribe. They don't want any part of that previous engagement. G25 will be the victors of this little ran down trailer park for the time being. They're going to be clearing out all their corners, making sure no solo member lies in wait, as Alicard on the flip end of the script going to be up here on the high ground, taking some shots with the M4 red dot on the Devil from Polar Ace down there, while Pretender gets to revive on to Zeus.
Polar Ace is another team that only started with 3 players, so they're down to only 2. Polar Ace, I've seen them, they did this on Erangel. They were in Pachinki, and they were in Pachinki for 20 minutes. And again, this is kind of very, very late rotation out of Picado there. They have that very centralized spot that they're dropping, but they weren't really capitalizing on it and just kind of staying within the city. And now they're getting a little bit punished, having another team kind of being further into the circle than them. So they're going to have to find a way out, but we see Wildcard down below. Now they're eating some shots from Wildcard down in Picado. They're trying to avoid the shots, but the landscape of Miramar is not giving them any sort of help.
Yeah, I mean, it is just so challenging right now. You can see all these teams on their vehicle rotates, just trying to take the most direct path, but the terrain is unforgiving. Wildcard, though, are going to be occupying Picado. Where did Nigma go? They just kind of sent into the opposite direction. Very interesting.
Absolutely. A lot of these teams, I think they're just kind of ducking their heads now. They don't want to engage in fights too much as the circle's about to close again, but we have Bats rotating right past. You see a couple shots coming out from 4 angry babies, just kind of trying to trace those shots onto Bats, but wasn't able to get it. Circle centers up right over Power Grid and kind of the cliffside just north of Picado and just south of San Martin. So we're going to have... you see everybody just all of a sudden got in their vehicles and everybody's making the move to get in the circle again.
Honestly, if I'm 4 angry babies, I'm really liking my position right now. They just need to make sure Wildcard don't come up from behind and kind of surprise them. Spacestation Gaming, they're going to be up here on the high ground. They'll be setting themselves up for some nice sight lines on the teams also making the rotate on into the new zone. They are a little split right now, so She-Fan was to get knocked or Angry was to get knocked. I'm not sure that the other squad mates, Beach and Juicy, will have enough time to go and provide that assistance out here. She-Fan going to be getting tagged from X Gamers. They're going to be all grouped up together right now, occupying the edge.
Yeah, X Gamers, I didn't think they were expecting to have Spacestation Gaming right, and they don't have that information yet. They don't know that this is Spacestation Gaming above them, and I think a lot of times they need to collect the information. Once one person gets knocked, they're going to be able to know this is Spacestation Gaming, this is the bear that we don't want to fight, and Ralphino gets tagged up by Shifan and gets knocked. So now X Gamers, I think they just want to just get out of this, find their way into the circle, and they don't want to be caught downhill from a team like Spacestation Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, they're only really getting shot from She-Fan as well. Juicy's going to be now opening up the gunfire. Angry's going to be coming in from behind as well any moment now. Juicy going to be tossing out some grenades out there, trying to connect. As we see X Gamers all scattering right now, trying to avoid these grenades at all costs. They're running in all directions, not even together as a team right now.
Yeah, they're just trying to make their great escape. They still have all 4 players up, but definitely not in the ideal situation that they were hoping for. And right now, Spacestation Gaming, you see Angry. He's coming over that amazing flank. He's trying to cut them off, give them nowhere to hide, and he gets that first knock onto Rage. He's trying to go for a second. He got Ralphino tagged down so low. Can he get another? He gets him tagged up as well. Actually, that was Juicy, the one coming. You know, he's feeding the information back. I have them all cornered over on this mountainside right now.
X Gamers are actually getting pinched so hard right now from Space Station. You got Juicy Sheepman up here on the high ground, and then Angry holding that off angle, looking right down below the dip where X Gamers were hoping that they would have some type of cover from the members up here from Space Station.
Yeah, Kais.
Doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
Kais, he's just kind of waiting in that big old bush, and he's just kind of, yeah, look at that. They threw the smoke over there trying to give them kind of a distraction that there might be somebody over there. But Kais, he's just in his little bush, trying not cause any, you know, not trying to garner any sort of intention on him. But Maniac, he's going to be across the street. So there's still 2 left from X Gamers. But the circle has shifted now. Just right over.
Are they giving up on it? I mean, are they giving up on it? I mean, there's a bush. There's a bush. Are they going to check the bush?
This reminds me of the first game in Erangel. Remember there was, who was it? Null Swifty was the last one alive, right in the middle of them in that big smoke in Erangel. You remember that? And
yeah.
So,
I guess if you're Space Station with this new circle, I mean, we see Sheepman out there still looking thirsty as ever. It is the desert, but you can't focus too much on that solo member because the next zone did go all the way down to the southeast, so you got to have positioning in mind.
Yeah, speaking of positioning, we have the Rejects and Universe 7 still hold up in San Martin, so they both need to get out of this fight, disengage. We see team number 9, we see Universe 7 already in a car trying to get out of there. Actually, Versace driving right in between X Gamers, but I think he was able to just get away from that. But Maniac is just in the other warehouse right next to Rad from Universe 7.
This circle is actually nuts. Picado, just the tip of the north, is going to be on in the play zone. Latinos Unidos going to be squaring off with Wildcard, and then you got Tribe up there on the high ground. Pittsburgh Knights going to be gatekeeping the western edge. 4 Angry Babies up there on the high ground of Picado. All these teams right smack on top of each other. The play zone is so small down here near this power grid area. 14 teams remaining, 49 players alive. Rotations are key right now.
Yeah, there's you can see Spacestation Gaming, they're coming up on the backside of Power Grid. G25 might be able to play spoiler here. Cat God is their IGL. I think he definitely, you know, heard the vehicles. He can probably, you know, gather some information about that. There's another team over there feeding that information back to the rest of his team and potentially getting an angle over there and taking out Spacestation Gaming.
Spacestation Gaming gonna be making their way on into the edge right now. Cat God just trying to survive. Cat God does have their squad mates still alive. Got a little 3-1 split going. Cat God just trying to get some information, trying to get the 1-up on teams making the rotate on in. It looks like the Rejects are going to be pinned down behind their vehicle right now. Space Station going to be unloading, but G-Fan exposing himself just a little too much from that off angle from Kodo down there from G25.
Yeah, it was actually the Rejects got, I think it was the man, yeah, got his own knock on his own teammate by blowing up that vehicle, and then G-Fan was able to, he wanted to come in third party that, steal those kills, but G25 was there to just punish him for peeking out a little bit too much.
Looks like Juicy's going to be sending it just a little more within the zone, but Juicy, a grenade right on top of their head. We'll be calling in the troops right now. We see the rest of Space Station going to be coming up, trying to provide that much needed support right now. We got teams on top of teams on top of teams, and here comes more grenades. Medic will be tossing out some more grenades out there from the Reject side, and on the flip of this is going to be X Gamer. So it's 2v2, pretty much trying to pinch Space Station right now.
It's strange because Spacestation Gaming is the one that is usually the one raining down grenades on all these other teams. So it's very strange to see they are actually on the receiving end of the bombardment from the Rejects and X Gamers, kind of pinned in between them, and blowing up Juicy now. And so it's just beached up standing. So that situation went from bad to worse.
And they might have spent too much time out there looking for that solo member in the bush, and they kind of let the zone
just slip out of their fingers.
Stuff them out here right now. And next zone did go on up. It's going to be another hard shift down there to the southeast. So even if you are Spacestation, you somehow manage to get their vibes. You somehow manage to take out these two squads that are right on top of you. You're going to have to continue making your way on in across the desert. And it's going to be so dangerous. 4 members of Simplicity going to be out there as well, trying to third party this.
Yeah, it looks like Doc with a grenade finishes, or gets a knock actually on Versace. Remember Versace, he was the one with the car. He was trying to find his way into the circle, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it to the rest of this match. Now we still have Spacestation Gaming, X Gamers, and the Rejects kind of this is just a terrible fight to have, because no matter which team wins this, they're going to be going into the circle so late, probably very low on health. You see the circle come in the zone, the blue zone coming in right now, so it's just going to be whatever team finds their way into the zone, they're just not going to be set up for the rest of the match.
Yeah, I mean, they have the longest distance to travel. We see their vehicles are going to be smoking. They have been using them for cover. Looks like the man's going to be up here on the high ground. That tree will be blocking Juicy for the time being, but Juicy's right in the open. The man whipping a couple of those shots.
Just hitting the ground.
Hitting the floor with it. Unlucky. We see Maniac coming up from behind. Also, everybody is so thirsty right now for these kills onto Space Station. Juicy will be connecting onto one of them. Going for the jump shot. And just like that, Medic is taken down by Juicy, but Juicy will be going down by the play zone right there, but going out with a bang.
That was amazing from Juicy. At least, you know, the play zone was he was gonna out of the play zone either way, but at least he was able to clutch that 1v2 and take out the Rejects. But now shifting over onto Simplicity, they're having to move. That compound gave them such a good positioning within the circle, but now they're gonna have to just send it onto the cliffside right by where Tribe and Pittsburgh Knights is at.
Yep, the Knights gonna be down here. I believe they're getting fired on from up there from Tribe and Simplicity. Up here on the cliff ends, or at least Tribe's going to be on up there. J7's going to be bleeding it out alongside Raven. It looks like Jagger's going to be making their ascent up here. See Spring out there just to the right. Is Jagger aware of Spring's location? We'll find out in just a moment. Yep, Jagger definitely hearing something. Trying to lower their profile over here and maybe get a kill onto Spring.
Yeah, Jagger the Fragger, the nickname that you gave him. I think that was last year. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jagger the Fragger, one of the... Just missed out.
Definitely aware that there's a player over here now.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
He heard that pin pull, and then he heard the grenade, for sure. Just all the utilities. They're just going back and forth. Trying right now. Jagger's down about halfway HP. Spring, he's just literally trapped on the downside. The rest of his team just kind of a little bit closer to the cliff. Can't really give him much support in this fight. But Jagger, he's the youngest one on Pittsburgh Knights. He's just kind of moving around a little bit more, trying to find a different angle on Spring, while Sam holds Spring's left side.
The thing that worries me is, yes, this is a kill over here, but they have to go all the way to the east to this new zone. Yeah, they're going to get the kill, but there's only 2 members left, and they have to kind of navigate their way through these mountains, and I don't see any clear-cut path. Jagger's thinking about jumping on down. He's going to be making the jump, most likely taking a little bit of damage, but these cliffs, these mountains playing such a huge role on how these teams could kind of rotate on into the new zone, and we see Zeus get the drop shot right there onto last member.
Literally dropped from the cliff.
Right? From above. Oh, you get a vehicle out of it, so I guess it's a win-win for them. Spring getting taken out to the play zone right there.
Yeah, right now the circle, it's favoring that right-hand side of this last circle. So 4AB, they have the higher upper ground. Looking down at the rest of these teams down below, and it's definitely on that southern side. 4AB, they can just wait for all these teams to take each other out and just third party from above. So now Revo from LTU gets that knock on Enigma from Wildcard. So there's only 2 left standing from Wildcard, and that's Acer and that is Percocet. Acer and Percocet, they were on Team Ruthless Killers. That was their original name, one of the OG clans in PUBG Mobile, and those 2 have been teammates for well over almost 2 years now, actually, that they've been playing together. So the synergy is real between Percocet and Acer.
Talk about things being real. Latinos Unidos, they got their placement gods still alive out here. Revo down there in that little dip, utilizing these smokes just to remain hidden, while these other teams up here on the high ground are going to be taking shots back and forth. Jagger peeking on over that ridge, will be chunked down pretty low. We got Molly's up here. Looks like the Knights are still going to be squaring off against Wildcard. Wildcard not too happy after losing Spring out there to the 2 members. Jagger looking to get some type of heals off, but they're trying to outrun the blue right now. Jagger might be forced to take a fight with practically no health to their name.
Digger got knocked from the third party. It's just Sam left alive from Pittsburgh Knights. Acer now finding Revos, takes out Latinos Unidos, while Survival gets the third party and finishes off Percocet. So now AbusementPrk, they have had a first place, a second place, and can they get higher than a fourth place right now? That would be the Cinderella story of tonight. AbusementPrk doing so well.
They got 3 members alive. They got 3 members alive, but 4 Angry Babies on the other end of this, they have 4 members alive right now. So when it comes to numbers, 4 Angry Babies, they got 1 more player. We got Sam left, the last remaining member for the Knights. Acer, the last remaining member for Wildcard right now. So 2 solos. Going to be playing that worms in the dirt role right now. Looks like Sam. We know Sam, though. Even though they are solo, they're going to try to take as many shots as possible. If they see a free kill, they're going to go for it. They're not going to hesitate. So we'll see if that plays a factor here.
Yeah, you saw it in Sanhok, how Survival, he was the last one alive for AbusementPrk, and you wouldn't think to pay attention to him, but he was still able to do a ton of damage to Universe 7 and Wildcard. So we have Richie now from AbusementPrk. They lost Oxide early on in the match, but I like what AbusementPrk is doing right now. They're just kind of spreading out a little bit of Survival. He finds that last snake from Pittsburgh Knights, which is Sam. So Acer now making it into the top 3 as a solo.
Looking really good for 4 Angry Babies. 4 members alive, 6 kills so far. Like you mentioned, Acer, that's solo. Gonna be down there to the south, hoping and praying that AbusementPrk take this engagement with each other. That might open it up for Acer to maybe get some third party in on this, as we are gonna see the grenades coming from above from the 4 Angry Babies. Molly is going to be out. Richie down below looking for that prime opportunity to get some head knocks. Yeah,
it's a 3v4v1 at this point. Wildcard, Acer, he could come in for a very good third party because all the attention between 4 Angry Babies and AbusementPrk are right on each other, so no one's even looking in his direction at this point.
Both of these teams itching for a fight right now. Wildcard going to be underhanding that Molly, trying to connect some of that flame on to those members down there from AbusementPrk. Richie holding back there in the tail end of this. Both teams, Acer. No real rush. They don't need to get ultra aggressive. They are going to be in the play zone. They can play this one out and wait until one of the other teams make a mistake here. That's what it's all about. And here we go. Engagement. Wildcard will be connecting onto one of the members from AbusementPrk. Now that leaves Survival and Richie, the last 2 alive from the team. I don't think that revive will be successful. It's going to be too dangerous. And Acer, again, taken down by the blue zone right there. They're going to be denying some points out there.
He wanted to go for a second place potentially, but around the corner, Richie, he's trying to find time. Doesn't quite land a shot. Gets the knock under there, but the last member from 4AB just comes down the cliff to finish off AbusementPrk. So 4 Angry Babies with the winner chicken dinner.
I mean, they had the numbers. They had the numbers. They had 4 alive at the end. They were able to survive all the mayhem with the hardships we had on that Miramar map. But AbusementPrk, I mean, consistency is key. First place, they got second place. Remember, all you need is top 16 and you're going on into the final. So if you are a AbusementPrk fan, you gotta be rooting for them because they're doing a great job. And then, of course, in third place, Wildcard.
Yeah, Wildcard. I think this was the last game they got first place, and then this one they've gotten third place as well. So Wildcard definitely not quite as consistent as AbusementPrk, but they've for sure had a very good run in this Miramar match.
With that said, after this game, we'll make sure to come back with some updated scoreboards coming into the final match of the evening. It is going to be Sanhok. No, Vikendi.
Snowy
So
Vikendi.
it's going to be the same setup for the next 3 nights. It's going to be Erangel, Sanhok, Miramar, Vikendi. So we're going to be heading on over to that snowy. Pack your jackets, pack your snow boots. Hand warmers and scarves and anything else. Hot cocoa, anything else you can think of. And we'll be right back. Welcome back to the final game of the evening. Hopefully everyone's having a great night here on this Wednesday. I had to check the calendar and make sure it is Wednesday. I'm here with Monica.
Hi, Dave. Yeah, I got my hand warmers. I got my coat. We're ready to go into Vikendi, our last match of the day.
I'm happy you're prepared. For the weather.
Yeah, so Vikendi, it's actually, did you know it's designed after a Northern European resort island. If you notice, it has a lot of just random landmarkers all around, like like what Dino Park, a castle, a winery, and then like a cosmodrome. So that's Vikendi. It's the newest map of PUBG Mobile, and definitely one of my favorites.
Seems like a good vacation spot.
I want to go vacation there. That'd be fun.
I mean, it's abandoned, you know, there's no one going to be there to help you, like, if you want a soft drink or like a hamburger or some french fries. I guess you'll have to make it yourself, but we are going to see the plane. It's going to be up there going from west to east up there in the top half of the map, so it's going to be interesting. I know you like to kind of study where teams might drop. Or we expecting any contested drop locations here in Vikendi? That's the thing.
Yeah, so one of the spots that I was really looking at was Dorbomesto. That's gonna be the first city that popped where the plane path was. But it looks like some of them kind of spread out. So I think they heard me. You know, I told them, do your research, know where these players are going. But we still have a lot of teams kind of over in that area. But the first circle, Vikendi, it's really known for having those like hard shifts, just terrible circles. The first time, it's actually kind of a well-behaved circle. There's still about 2/3 of the land within the circle and about 1/3 out in the water.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And I see issue out here with the Tommy gun. It was KBO last night with the Tommy gun, right? I mean, popping off. But yeah, we are gonna have some heated action very early on, as Bat is gonna be versing up against Polar Ace. Once again, we see Versace in the kill feed, rat-tat-tat-tatting with that Bison. But we got Devil with the MP5 right now, looking to get some early points on the board.
Oh my, Podvesto, definitely. It's not even enough to have, it's not enough loot for one team, but we have 3 teams dropping there. It's Latinos Unidos, Bats, and then, who was the last team over there? Ace, Polar Ace Esports. So all 3 of these teams kind of ran each other, and you know, if they all of them just landed within the city, there's probably about like maybe one car spawn for them. So these teams are gonna have to really disengage, run on the street, and try to find a vehicle.
Yeah, Fifi out here trying to take some shots, looking stylish as ever with this nice hat on. Oh, but the one tap dirt nap right there. Don't be peeking that window, learning their lesson the hard way. The revive most likely will be successful because they do have their squad mate near them. But Polar Ace now with the opportunity to make the push across the street and potentially get the first squad wipe of this Vikendi map.
Yeah, Vikendi, it is just so SMG heavy. You can see most of these players, they all have an SMG right off the bat. So these fights are all just SMG fights. Looks like Ace trying to come up, just gets tagged up. He's like, nope, wasn't a good idea. And Bash just playing gatekeeper from above, all trapped in the attic.
Yeah, almost getting stuck in those stairs. You know, those stairs becoming quite the bottleneck when you're trying to retreat and avoid getting shot. And it looks like the 2 members from Bat in that second story able to vault on down and get on out of harm's way. But Rio is going to be hot on the case.
Yeah, they have one solo player from Bats kind of further down south, so not quite with them. So right here is kind of a 3v4, but you see in the minimap that last member from Bats is coming in to join the party as Ace is on the push to try to wipe out the rest of Bats.
There you go, the fight's starting to erupt. The Thompson lock and loaded, ready to
look at that.
Loaded on the Fifi. Fifi will be connected right there. Most likely thirsted after that one. That's going to be their second knock right here. King G with the Uzi waiting up there on the second story as their squad is just getting killed left and right.
Polar is just dominating this fight right now. They've taken some damage, but none of them have gotten knocked or thirsted out. They're going to find the last player in the corner, and that is going to be it for Bats, and Polar Ace ends up on top.
Hey, that's why you got to pick your drop locations. You can't be contesting people's drops if you can't take the heat. You can't take the heat, and it's a risk. It's a risk. So if you are gonna drop on people and contest them for drop spots, you'd hope that you have somewhat of a solidified position on the leaderboard so that you can risk it. But if you're a team that's not in the top 16 yet, that's not the call to make. That is just not the call to make. So 4AngryBabies, winners of the previous game, are going to be on their rotate. Looks like they will have 2 vehicles under their squad so far. Very important here on Vikendi because we can have some crazy circles.
Universe 7, they're finding a little compound to themselves. It's really about, oh, and as we said, that 4AB does get knocked. Zeus, 2 issue. So 4AB, those cars that you saw them driving in before, those are specific to Vikendi, but they blow up so easily. So you have to be so careful driving in them.
Some Zimas. The most stylish car in PUBG Mobile. I'm telling you that right now. Oh, Pretender. Gotta be backing up that Zima into that Molly, leaving Zeus back here. Zeus missing out on their Uber. Unfortunate for them. Gonna be healing on up over there. I wonder if Pretender's gonna come back and pick him up, as Alucard's gonna be out here on the off angle, taking shots, trying to get the thirst onto Issue from Null and trying to connect onto Aubrey as well.
Yeah, the G36C, that's another very specific gun to Vikendi, replacing the Scar-L. No love for the Scar-L, it's constantly replaced on all the maps. But this time around, we got 4AB, and I think they might have the better positioning over Null at this point.
And they got the confidence because of their previous chicken dinner, so they're going to be feeling really good after that one. As we see them being extremely aggressive right now, Time and Alucard going to be pulling on up to this rock right on top of Null. Null's kind of spread out right now too. Out of position.
Oh, Fear is getting tagged up through the smoke. So 4AB now it is a 4v2 situation, just thirsting out Fears right now, confirming those 2 points, 4 kills, and there goes the third. So it's just Kazuha now left from Null up the hill. They know he ran over here in some direction, but he's just gonna wait. He's got it 2 times on that MP5. Tagged up Alucard just a little bit, but Kazuya inevitably goes down to Alucard, their IGL's G36C.
4 kills. I mean, that's why momentum is so important, because it just allows you to take these plays with confidence. I feel like if 4AngryBabies wouldn't have gotten that previous chicken dinner, they might not have been so aggressive here in this play, because it is early game, and a lot of teams tend to wait till mid game to late game to really get that aggressive, unless they necessarily need to. At least that's what I've kind of observed here. And gonna be checking out Tribe as well, just driving on by, living their life.
Living the life. Yeah, just what you said, just having that, you want to come into these games confident. You want to be playing how you usually play. Some teams, they get into these more intense situations in these tournaments, and they just start playing differently. They play more scared, they play more passive than they usually do, and it just doesn't work. They have never practiced that play style before. But now moving over to Pittsburgh Knights and Simplicity. So on either side, they're too far away really to kind of engage on a fight. If somebody gets a knock here, you're not going to see a push, because it's going to take them so long to push on here. So right now they're just kind of taking away each other's armor, wasting each other's resources. They do get a knock, they'll probably get revived, but then just forcing them to use another first stage, so they can't use that utility into the late stages of the game.
So it's kind of just like an aim game right now, just kind of practicing your aim out here. J7 up here on the roof with the M4 will be taking some shots out there, connecting onto him, but then receiving some damage in return. So both these teams are going to be in this circle, that nice little ravine with the frozen water kind of separating them. And this is the perfect opportunity to, like you said, get the knocks, inflict some damage, make them use their meds, because at this point, when it comes to looting, you're kind of set up, and you're not going to get any additional loot unless you get into a fight and wipe them at this point, because it's all going to be about playing for the zone.
I've seen some teams, when they're in a long distance fight like that, they'll take off their helmet and take off their armor as well, so they can have that long distance fight, and then by the time it's time to rotate, they can just put their full health back on. But here we have Polar Ace, the ones who won Podbesto, now fighting LTU, the other team that landed in there. Real, he gets a knock. What is happening here?
Latinos Unidos are just not having the best of nights here tonight. I mean, I gotta say it. We like to see that team up there at the top leaderboards, or at least top 5. They're pretty consistent when it comes to that, but something is just off tonight. We see them constantly getting into these early engagement and just not working out for them, they're able to manage to have a solo member still alive to at least continue to get those placement points. But so far, their team fights they're just been off. I wonder what's happening. Maybe it's the lobby, maybe it's the pressure getting to them. But when it comes to the groups, they will have another night. And remember, all you need is top 16. But you know what? The games are winding down. You're not going to be able to have poor performances for much longer.
I think Latinos Unidos is definitely feeling the pressure. They participated in both PMCO splits last year in 2019, but they were only able to make it to the semifinals. So this is kind of the pressure. Can they, third time's the charm. Can they make it past the semifinals in PMCO?
That would be a big leap then. So you're saying they haven't made it past semifinals?
Nope, they've only made it to semifinals in spring and fall.
That pressure. It's that pressure. I mean, group stages, they're popping off. They finally made it back here. Hopefully the pressure doesn't get the best of them and they check out. They clock out early once again in these semifinals. But like I mentioned, they're going to have 4 more games to go. They still got this game. They got their solo member still alive. Going to opt to try to get as many placement points as possible. So best of luck to that squad. Moving forward, 13 teams remaining. Here's our first place victors of the previous game. 4 Angry Babies making a name for themselves here tonight.
Yeah, 4 Angry Babies. They were actually 2 different teams right before PMCO, and each of these 2 teams didn't have a full roster, so they decided, hey, why not just combine? So we had Most Wanted was actually the team name before for Alucard and Time, and then Zeus and Pretender were part of 4 Angry Babies, so that's they just merged and became 4AB, and then they kept some of their drop spots from before, but and some other maps they've completely made new strats as well.
I mean, that's what you like to see, right? I mean, teams kind of form up at the very last minute. And what the heck? Let's get involved. Let's get in here, see what we can do. And not only that, they disrupt the lobbies. These teams that have been playing together, some of them, they live together, and they're still putting up quite the fight and giving them a run for their money. So we're gonna be checking out right now. Looks like Wildcard gonna be occupying these compounds out here. G25 out there in the distance. I don't know if they're gonna make the push. They are gonna be neighbors for the time being. We're in circle number 2. Wasn't too harsh on a majority of these teams. We'll really get a read on the situation on where this next circle goes. It's about to close in here very shortly. 50 seconds to go.
Yeah, for Vikendi, it's really about that first circle. It's probably going to be a hard shift. You've seen it just halfway on the waters. All these teams they're expecting it at this point. But then after that, for the next kind of 5 zones or so, it just kind of centers up. So you see a lot of these teams in Vikendi, it's just dead center, just absolutely packed like sardines, all in the compounds right next to each other. And then once it gets kind of towards those last couple circles, that's when it starts hard shifting around the circle one more time. So now we see AbusementPrk making a very wide rotation around Peshkova actually, and just coming in on just the very edge, just on the very edge of the map. You can barely see them.
Yeah, just playing the edge. I mean, no real rush to send it into the center right now. I mean, not much going on here. A lot of teams still maybe even getting some loot. Fortunate for them, Universe 7 are going to be over here. Doing a good old job. 13 squads remaining. So I saw something not too long ago from PUBG Mobile and kind of get a better understanding of what teams do in these situations when they're like in the zone, kind of just waiting it out. Well, we have some dance competitions. I mean, what do you do in these situations? Like, you're just kind of waiting for time, waiting for the next circle. I mean, are you on your hands and knees praying for the circle to continue to favor you, or you guys making some jokes amongst the squad? I mean,
so
what's the
hilariously, and this happened, I want to say, like at the beginning of PUBG Mobile, some tournament organizers on their own stream, they would have everybody be in like a Discord VC, right? So in the middle of the match, they'd be able to just go in and kind of listen to the comms. And the things that you used to hear, they wouldn't even be expecting the caster to kind of come in and just to hear what they were saying. But it was just I've heard some very, very interesting things just mid game when people are in these situations where it's it's a 25-minute game and there's nothing happening in the middle, so they're just kind of doing what they can to kind of bide the time.
Maybe we should get some team comms back. That'd be
fun.
That'd be some popcorn for sure.
We need some sensors.
I think the teams are sometimes the teams are against it because they say, oh, it's giving away our secret strategy.
Yeah.
I don't. Come on. Let us hear what's going on. That's always been my argument.
Yeah, the circle now it's kind of hard shifted over to the left side. So Pittsburgh Knights, X Gamers, Tribe, and AbusementPrk all kind of left on the wrong side of the river. The good thing for them though is the server is completely frozen. So like if you see on a circle like Sanhok or Erangel, if you know having all those bridges and having water underneath it, you're kind of funneled into just those bridges or swimming across. But here because it's all frozen, you just saw it on the screen. They can just literally just drive there. They're not limited to just those spots where the bridges are.
And honestly, I mean, we're looking at right now. I mean, we got Tribe and AbusementPrk, kind of the only squads that need to reposition. I mean, the last main member for Latinos Unidos, Chacho out there, you know, gonna be just trying to survive. But it's like Tribe and AbusementPrk are actually kind of trying to fight for the same compounds almost. Besides that, though, all the other teams can just continue to straight Netflix and chill.
Yeah, they both had that same idea to rotate, kind of wide rotate counterclockwise around the circle to kind of go across the bridge. But then they found out, oh, there's another team. You know, who in the world is that right next to us? And right now they're kind of trapping each other. Survival up on top of the roofs. That's why it's so dangerous to be on the roofs. You do get a really good vantage point, but if you get knocked, you're so exposed. It's going to be such an easy flush because you can't move very fast down. So now Tribe has the information. They know it's AbusementPrk that they are fighting against.
So with that being said, are they gonna get a little more aggressive, or are they just gonna be happy with their compound? Oh no, Richie! Oh, the tag though from downtown.
Shots back and forth
Richie,
now.
yeah, what was Richie doing? I feel like they were already in the circle, or at least on the edge of it. I guess Tribe kind of getting in front of him with the gatekeep over here. Richie should be able to get the revive, but very interesting maneuvers coming out from AbusementPrk right now.
I think they were trying to get a different angle, you know, kind of split up a little bit. You never want to have all four of your players in the same compound, having the same angle, same information. I think that's what they were trying to go for. But it looks like Tribe, they don't want to deal with this. They want to get put a little more priority of getting a better place in the circle, and just leaving the last members of AbusementPrk to fend for themselves on the edge.
Sad days out here.
Sad days.
Next circle is going to pop here very shortly, Monica. If you could pick where it goes, where would that be?
I have a reputation of saying like, oh, there's no way it would go here, and then it goes exactly there.
So where is that?
I think it's gonna center up on Coal Mine.
Center up? We're still centering up over here? No hardships? Come on, Monica, give us something.
Give us something interesting to have.
I mean, it's gonna all pop off at the end. I mean, it's just Vikendi for you, and you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it comes to a heal off. I mean, that's traditional here within the North America region. I believe what we had how many Vikendis so far? Like 4 or 3 Vikendi matches as a whole.
Yeah.
Not in the semifinals, but just like counting groups as well. And 2 of those for sure were heal off. So that's one thing that a lot of these teams are going to be keeping in their minds as we see them continuing to loot on up. If you see bandages, if you see first aids, you know for a fact they're dropping some ammo to pick that up.
Ooh, okay, my coal mine is still within the circle. It just kind of is slightly up into the north. It's still kind of very central. So these teams, though, not any too big of a shift for the teams. We have Wildcard just on the outskirts, right by G25 though, and they're gonna be potentially engaging very shortly.
Got that nice big old boulder right between them for the time being. Just a reminder, this is the final game of the evening. Then tomorrow night, Thursday night, groups A and C. So we'll be seeing some of these same teams perform tomorrow. And then that's going to be their final night. That's going to be Group A done and dusted. Whatever points they have after tomorrow night is it. So hopefully they're within that top 16 position with a buffer on top of that, because then the final night of the semifinals, Friday night, is going to be groups B versus C, 4 more maps. And then we'll see who the top 16 is that goes on into the finals. In the finals, only 2 days, 8 games total.
That's gonna be when the points really count, and every single game is just life or death. Literally life or death.
That's how we find out who goes on into the land that was announced, the next stage here within North America.
So that's going to be the finals for PMCO ending this weekend, and then PUBG Pro League after that.
Big stuff, big stuff. And then it goes to World League. So lots of PUBG mobile action coming your way this year. They got it all planned out.
I think it's just amazing that some of these teams that literally is just a group of friends, they formed a team right before PMCO qualifiers online. The registration was due, and then now they've made it past group stages, being the top 24 out of 32 teams, and now they're playing and trying to get that top 16 spot. So it's really, anybody can join esports, and especially PUBG Mobile being such a kind of young scene, it's very easy to get in and get good.
Get good for that cash money, as we're going to see Wildcard out there taking some damage, losing some vehicles out here.
You don't want to lose your vehicles.
Trying to make the pull up. Oxide trying to take out the other Zima over here that the members from Wildcard are going to be trying to secure, but the vehicle explosion, I believe that was Richie that got that one. And yeah, we saw that. We're starting to see the action erupt here as these circles continue to shrink, and we did get a hard shift, so it's going to go just north of Coal Mine. Tribe going to be all the way up there in the north. Simplicity, centralized position, but besides that, majority of our teams are going to be in the south. Yep, check out that circle, Monica. It's crazy.
That's actually kind of hilarious because in between the games, Acer was really talking up Survival in a chat that we had, and now he just went out to Survival's team. All right, Exit Gamers at Ralphino YouTube down in the kind of iced over waters, the rivers, and getting that really, really nice angle over on to Pittsburgh Knights, but Sam answering back and getting that knock onto Rage. Rage is their top fragger on that team for X Gamers. And gets the flush out.
Ralphino making a quick U-turn right there, not wanting to go that way. Relaying the information to the squad mates. They're going to opt to go for a wide rotate to avoid the Valley of Death right there. That the Knights are currently taking some shots onto X Gamers right now, so they saw that in the kill feed. Chief and gonna be popping off in the kill feed as well. Looks like Spacestation are taking some shots onto Universe 7 out here. It's gonna be in the south as well.
Yeah.
4 Angry Babies are gonna be right on top of them, so a lot of teams are going to be fighting it for any type of positioning right now.
Yeah, X Gamers kind of find themselves between a rock and a hard place, so they have literally, but Maniac, he's kind of caught really, really close to Pittsburgh Knights, while the rest of his team kind of making the great escape, but Maniac, just got shot from above with the Uzi from Jagger, so now it's just going to be 2 left from X Gamers trying to get back into the circle.
Jagger getting a quick kill out here on the map, the first kill of the Knights. Action starting to erupt right now. Raven gonna be pushing across the frozen lake, possibly going for this crate. I don't know if that crate is unlooted yet. I believe it is not, so they should be coming into late game with some nice level 3 armor. Raven gonna be taking some shots out there onto Richie and Oxide from AbusementPrk.
Yeah, as you said, that Raven was right there at the crate to get it. He left the Groza in there, opting to keep his M4 and Uzi, but took the level 3 helmet and vest. And over here we got Polar Ace and G25 right on top of each other. So Nami, last one alive from Polar Ace. They did so well coming out of Podvesto. They wiped so many teams so far. They got 7 kills to their name so far. But he opted to go for the revive instead of trying to finish off the last player from G25. So right now, just this numbers advantage. Both these teams taking the time to reset, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that both squads kind of allowed the reset to come on out over here. Devil going to be peeking the corner with that
last one.
Just
G25.
In time, though, Riot able to secure the squad wipe out there onto G25, and here comes the revives. They're going to be on the edge, but look at that. The Knights heard all this. The Knights are going to be making the push right now, coming in hot, baby, with 4 members alive. Looking to rack up their points. Last time we checked in on the Knights, they only had 1 kill. Now they're up to 2 kills, and Raven getting up close and personal, and just like that, Polar Ace weren't able to heal up after that previous engagement.
Pittsburgh Knights, they were the sharks in the water. They smelled the blood, and they came like rabid dogs to try to clutch up those kills. So now 2 kills turned into 4, and they're now they took all their vehicles too, and now they're making their way into the 7th circle of the match. All right, right now, Spacestation Gaming on the southern side. Let's see, SSG, we haven't really seen that much from them yet, just kind of 2 kills here and there. I think that was on Universe 7, but they've got a pretty good angle. Angry up on top, looking down at Pittsburgh Knights rotating through, but they still need to make their way in the circle. None of their players actually in at all, so Angry's gonna have to haul his way back into the circle.
Fan from Space Station Gaming. They'll be making their way on right onto the edge here. The Knights, heavy hitters, right over there to the east of them. 8 teams remaining. Everybody playing the edge right now, or at least a lot of teams playing the edge.
Yeah, this is where, there's only so many. It's really about who gets the zone in Vikendi. There's not a whole lot of compounds to be had. It's only, looks like Simplicity and the Rejects are the ones with the hardcover in the circle. Pittsburgh Knights, they need to find an entry now because they're literally right on the side. But AbusementPrk, the ones that we've been rooting for, Raven gets that first knock onto Richie. If they were paying attention to Kobe, they know it's 1 person left. But Oxide trying to get in the circle, trying to get away from Pittsburgh Knights, gets taken out by Raven.
Things are heating up now. Place your bets in the chat. Which team do you think is going to be the victors of the final map here tonight? We got Space Station and Pittsburgh Knights looking to square off against each other. The Reject's going to be right smack in the middle. We are going to be waiting for the next zone to pop. Simplicity out there to the north. They've been praying, and looks like their prayers have been answered. They will be the only team on in the new zone. Looks like Space Station, the furthest squad away from the new zone, going to be coming up with some type of game plan. Will they wrap around the edges? Will they send it straight up downtown through the middle and expose themselves to all the angles? 4 Angry Babies, winners of the previous maps, getting on into that vehicle, focusing on positioning.
Lolo getting that first knock onto 4AB Pretenders. So now Simplicity, they only have 1 kill so far in this match, but Irish goes down, so they really need these kills. They need people to kind of come over close to them, come in within a shot so they can rack up those points. So SSG, Sheepfan, he's knocked. It looks like SSG, I think they see those smokes in those compounds, so they know that there's a team over there, and they might need to flush them out before Pittsburgh Knights crashing up right onto Simplicity. One of them goes down, so PK, down only 3.
Yep, Sam thinking about tossing that Molly out there. Simplicity Irish going to be pulling the off angle back there in the building. Looking right in front of him, Russell. Dipping on into the building, taking a shortcut with the MP5.
Last one.
Going to be wrapping around the tail end.
That was it.
Just like that, the Knights going to be sandwiched. They're going to be backstabbed. They're going to be taken down and out. 5 teams remaining. Simplicity, 5 kills so far. Going to be defending their position right now within the circle.
Yeah, I said they only had that 1 kill before that push from Pittsburgh Knights, so they definitely are very appreciative of those kills to add to them. Looks like the Rejects trying to get out of this, but Spacestation Gaming, look how they're just surrounding their entry into the circle. They have no way to get in before AB just on the backside looking for a third party. Yeah, Angry, you heard that.
I'm surprised Space Station are still alive. I mean, they got 4 alive and they just sent it right up the middle.
I think this is what 4AB does very well. Anything they do, the pushes, the team fights are all just so synchronized. You see, he got knocked from Alucard. I said he was coming for the third party, but Beach gets the knock onto Medic, so it's just 1 last player from the Rejects up top. I think he's meting out in the blue zone. Right now, Space Station Game, they know they need to get in the circle now.
Yep, they lost Juicy. The revive most likely not going to be successful. Let's see what Simplicity can do. They're going to have to defend their compound once again. The previous defend was against the Knights. Let's see if they can take out Space Station. Irish on the roof will be connecting over there with that oversight position onto Angry. Here comes Beach now. Russell with the MP5, lock and loaded, trying to spray out here onto Beach. Beach with the Uzi. MP5 versus Uzi. Which gun wins this fight? Beach has the molly right there on the corner. Russell still within the confines of the compound in the cover.
Yeah, I would have taken that 4 times off of his MP5 because he missed a lot of those shots onto Beach when he pushed up next to him. But Angry, he gets flushed out by Zeus, and Pretender from 4AB now going down to drive. So we have 4 teams left within this circle. None of these teams in the circle, actually.
Lolo wants that. Lolo wants to get Beach. And right now, it looks like Doc and Lolo are going to be surrounding Beach. Chief and Juicy going to be up there. Russell distracting Beach to allow Lolo to get as close as possible. Looks like Lolo's going to be cooking this grenade, going to be tossing it right over there into the corner. Beach will be taking just a little bit of damage here. Simplicity, they don't really need to get so aggressive here. They are going to be right on the edge of the new circle. Beach knows this.
Yeah, Spacestation Gaming Beach. He's using that third-person perspective, trying to look in through the windows, but Sheepfang gets spotted out by Doc now, so I think they're trying to go for the
the jump
now.
shot from Juicy!
Oh, it gets it! Perfect timing. So Juicy, they were actually able to get the revive on Juicy, so Beach, last one alive. He's got about 5 hit points left, and he's trying to go for the flush, at least trying to confirm that kill, and he does get it, but inevitably gets taken out by Simplicity. So 3 players up from Simplicity, and 2 from 4AB Pretender. He's down, but not out yet. But now gets flushed out by Irish.
Style points. All about them style points. I give some
style
style
10 out of
points to Space Station. But let's see what Simplicity can do. I mean, they got 9 kills so far. They got 9 kills, but 4 Angry Babies had a chicken dinner under the belt. Oh, but Alucard's going to be spotted by Doc right there. And now Simplicity with 3 members alive. They're just going to come into the final zone here. They know where Zeus is. Zeus is going to be out there in the blue taking some damage, and just like that, Zeus is going to be denying a point right there to Simplicity. Simplicity going to be getting a winner chicken dinner out here for the final game on Vikendi here tonight. 4 Angry Babies, though, we talked about them all night long. They have been so consistent. I want to say they racked up the most points out of all the teams here when it comes to placements.
Yeah, when the scores come out for just today, we're going to have a couple teams really far ahead of the pack than the rest of these teams, because Simplicity, even though they got the winner chicken dinner here, they didn't really do that stellar in the previous matches, so they're going to be kind of middle of the road. But 4AB, Wildcard, and AbusementPrk for sure is going to be up on top, but those 3 teams are going to definitely be in our kind of top contenders and having a lot more points than the rest of the teams within these lobbies. Just scrolling through. So, Dave, what do we have to look forward to tomorrow?
Tomorrow, let's see, taking out the trusty old calendar schedule. We're halfway done with the semifinals. We're halfway done.
4 days.
Yesterday, if you recall, we had 3 games. So, groups A versus B, groups A versus C, groups B versus C. They were able to get their first games into the semifinals. And then tonight, of course, you're tuning on in. Thanks for watching. If you're just now tuning on in, waking up wherever you're from, make sure you go check out their VOD. But that's going to be groups A and B. It's going to be in the books, so they're only going to have 4 more games to go. Group A will finish their 4 games here tomorrow night, and Group B will finish their 4 games on Friday night. So